Hey guys, what's up? This is Falsepools123 and welcome back to my channel. Now you're probably wondering, Ryan, this isn't your bedroom, and you're right, bitch, it ain't my bedroom. This is the kitchen, and I'm realizing that I'm sitting in the most squeakiest chair. So I thought what would be really nice is if I could actually, make something while I told you about the books I read this season. I'm trying to go for seasonal wrap-ups, you get what I'm saying. First up is Haikyu Volume 1 by Haruichi Farudate. Haikyu is a sports manga involving a male volleyball team. Shoyo Hinata is a short king and a spunky shonen protag, which never gets annoying. His nemesis turned teammate Tobio Kageyami is basically just a stuck-up little bitch. The players are bad at volleyball until they discover that if Tobio sets the ball for Shoyo, then Shoyo can jump really high and hit that ball really hard. What I'm saying is that Shoyo is a power bottom. I don't hate this manga, but I'm just super not interested in sports mangas or spunky shonen protagonists, but this is like one of those highly regarded sports mangas out there, and it's nice for me to broaden my horizons. It wasn't for me, but kudos. Next up is Can't We Talk About Something More Pleasant by Roz Chast, a memoir. Can't We Talk About Something More Pleasant is a memoir by Roz Chast. Didn't I just say that? That details the final years of care that she gave to her parents. She talks about her strange relationships with the two of them and the emotional, psychological, and financial stress that comes from being a caretaker for an elderly loved one. As someone who's had a caretake for both my mother and my grandmother, it definitely hit a bit close to home, and being a caretaker is a really complicated relationship. It changes the way you interact with somebody on a really emotional level, and it definitely complicates a lot of the feelings you have for a person, both when you're alive and after they've passed. This was a really difficult memoir to get through. Like I said, it hit really close to home for me, but at the same time, there definitely was a level of catharsis. I think if you're somebody who's gone through that situation, who's had a care for a family member that was ailing, especially once it was near the end of their life, it's definitely something that, it's definitely something that, you can find comfort in. Or just emotional fuck-uppery. I mean, that's what it did for me, at least. On to something a little bit less emotional than literally watching your mother die frail and alone in the moment of her death. It's MST3K, the comic. Yeah, so it turns out that in response to the creation of MST3K, The Return, they created a tie-in comic book. Maybe it's a series. Okay. I am a little unclear on that point. I tried to do my research. The instructions were unclear. Yes, my dick is stuck in a toaster. Thank you for asking. Essentially, the Mads have used their patent-pending Kingavision to brave a brand new frontier of content, by which I mean niche genre comics of the 30s through 60s. This was some hot shit. Mostly because I never read superhero comics, so all the physical comics and vintage magazines I read are weirdly from the 60s, and I have developed a weirdly specific nostalgia for a time and childhood I have never had. Anyway, the riffing was super funny, and I didn't get any of the references, of course, and it was just a fun tie-in to the series that I'm moderately obsessed with. Elliot Cahan married me. Just kidding, JK, unless. So next up is Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, Volume 1, Who is Oracle? By Julie Benson, Shawna Benson, Claire Rowe, and Roge Antonio. So confusingly, this is not the comic about the origins of Oracle, the alter ego of Batgirl that took on after being shot by the Joker and the Killing Joke, but it is instead set further in the future. I'm actually looking at my script now and it says father in the future, and that is not correct. Where the Birds of Prey already exist and Batgirl has recovered from her paralysis. Basically, some charlatan is trying to get on her turf of being a super elite hacker It also features the origin story of the Huntress, who is a badass with a crossbow, which is not a character archetype I overuse a lot in my D&D campaign. Shut up, what are you talking about? Overall, this was just a lot of fun. It had a lot of great characters, a tongue-in-cheek tone, and it was just a good time. So, the last thing I read was Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. She is a graphic artist who's made some absolutely stunning body and gothic horror. Okay, she butters my egg rolls every time I see her, and I'm just like, why don't I follow you on Instagram? Okay, bitch. So, Through the Woods is a collection of her comics, and it is so pretty and so stunning, and literally, I can't say anything worthwhile about this book because it is so freaking good. Okay, do you like Crimson Peak? Do you like just, like, gothic literature, but, like, written by women, and it has, like, body horror shit? Okay, just, that's the shit that's going on. If you're into that, if you were like, what if Poe was a feminist, and you need to read that shit, just fucking read Emily Carroll, okay? Go to her website, read her shit, buy her book. There you go. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm actually going to get started on my dessert that I've been completely forgetting, because every time I go like this, my editing self just wants to commit seppuku, so I'm going to let that go and just kind of like do a montage over it for the rest of the video. Hopefully that helps. So, it turns out I'm apparently kind of trash at making things I've never made before. Imagine that. So, here's a few fun mistakes I made. First, you're supposed to soften the ice cream like a good amount and not just like halfway. Also, I was supposed to line the springform pan with plastic wrap so I could actually take it out of the pan. And it turns out that the freezer I was using wasn't actually freezer temperature, so guess who woke up the next morning with soggy melted ice cream? It's me, I'm that bitch. So I'm just going to play a song over this instead of explaining all the trash things I did, and just know that it looked really good, but it was trash. Okay, yeah, so here we go.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. A step back to see the truth.